Hey everybody, so I wanted to give you some insight into this tool called Miro, and it's going to be one that we're going to be using in class quite often. And I've chosen this tool because it's got a lot of really well integrated features that give you a lot of flexibility to work, whether it's individually, within groups, whether it's to broadcast a presentation of your work, whether or not it's to copy and export so that you can save it for your own notes. There's a lot of really amazing tools here. And not only is it something that's going to be useful for you in the classroom, it's something that I think is a tool that is mostly integrated to business and industry. So if you get really comfortable with this, this is going to be a tool you can take with you into your field when you graduate, and you can propose this to your management and show them that the age of using sticky notes and large poster paper is a little antiquated and that you have found a better time-saving measure. Let's start off with a blank whiteboard. And this is just a simple blank infinite canvas space for us to be cooperating in. So let's see if I can't click out of this template here. Perfect. A couple of different things. First, this is just the desktop app. I'll show you in a second the mobile app that you can download, again, free, and gives you a really nice interface to be able to draw in freehand as you're working through developing the notations for your mathematics. First thing is, let's go ahead and talk about this pen. So if you choose to click into this pen, you can see there's a lot of different options here. For colors, there's an option for thickness. And so if I just wanted to practice writing out some of the math, maybe I would choose a thickness that's somewhere around here. I can scribe black, and then you can see a little circle. It's a very faint circle that's going to tell you about how big your writing is going to be. But I can just practice, if I have a pad or something, writing in that maybe 1 over x equals 5. I could then solve that for 1 equals 5x. And you can do this in lots of different colors, lots of different thicknesses. You can kind of choose what it is, but it gives you that nice whiteboard feature there as well. You can now select all of the work that you have, and you can rescale it, you can relocate it, you can copy and duplicate it by just pressing Control D. And so you get a lot of flexibility here. Let's also now talk about this idea of adding in text. So perhaps I'd like to throw a text box in somewhere. Sticky notes are a really powerful tool if you guys want to comment on each other, so we can also add in little sticky notes here. If we look over here on the left-hand side, you can scroll down to even more tools. So perhaps if you wanted to draw a shape, you could choose that there was going to be this square that you could then drag in. You could give it a different color. You have lots of different options here to be able to type and text inside of this. You can highlight certain things. So maybe we will create this into a red box that has some opacity, and maybe we'll take away the frame. Now this box can duplicate as a means of highlighting work. So we could take this and perhaps draw attention to the fact that I would like this part right here to draw everyone's attention. Within the phone app, there's a lot of different menus that you can do the exact same thing, so you can actually write in this free form and not have to worry about if you don't have a USB pen pad attachment, or if you're trying to avoid making your handwriting messy while using a mouse or a trackpad. Just download the free app, and then you can write on it directly with your finger by just linking to that exact same whiteboard. Super easy. As you can see, the comments section here is going to be the exact same as before, so you can absolutely leave a comment that's just going to be nice and subtle for somebody to check into later. You can add shapes pretty easily by just simply selecting which one you want, and then again you can add colors, sizes, and everything else, same as you would do in the desktop. At the very bottom you've got a menu, and you can scroll left and right by just simply dragging. You can select colors, you can click to duplicate by clicking that square with the plus button in it, you can delete, and then again you can just drag like you would very intuitively with your finger. Text can be added very simply. You can insert a picture by clicking to upload and then select from your camera what it is that you'd like to load. So if it's something that you were just visiting from a website and you've copied the link, you can paste the link there really easily and it'll automatically convert it. You can also upload pictures or documents that you have saved on your phone. Here you can see that I'm going to select a problem that I was working on before, maybe one that I had in the paper in front of me that I wanted to take a quick snapshot of and upload into this whiteboard, so you can write on the paper in front of you, and then instead of having to write all of your notes again, just take a quick picture and throw that up. You could even consider taking a quick video of your thoughts and uploading that as well. Here you can see an example of me just taking a picture of something that's right in front of me in real time, and then wanting to load that into the whiteboard. And there you have it, there's my picture that I just took. You can reposition these also by just simply clicking to rotate, by clicking on the curvy arrow on the bottom right, or if you click on any of those blue dots that appear next to the picture, you can get this dragging thought map so that you can connect all of your ideas and show their progressions. But there's even more that you can do, and it's going to involve us being able to reach out into other online websites and applications. So to do that, it's best that we jump back to the desktop version. Let's see what else we have. You always have inside of this, or this triple dot here, the ability to add more widgets and more apps into this workspace. So for example, one thing that we're going to be doing is graphing a lot in this class. So if you take a look at here, this Google image search, instead of needing to draw a coordinate plane, we can just click into this, and we could just type in what it is that we're looking for. So I could type in coordinate plane, grab one of the coordinate planes that I think is going to best work for the problem I'm trying to demonstrate. And we can see that this tool is going to drop it right in. And we can zoom in. I'm just using the little wheel on my mouse here to scroll in, but if you have a trackpad, you can pinch and pry the exact same way that you would if you were using an iPad. If you click into down here in the bottom right, you can see where your zoom is, and you have the option of making this full screen. If you do, it gives you a lot more visibility into your tools. Now let's talk about how we could use this for graphing. I can just simply zoom into this coordinate plane and I can start plotting points. So I can go over here to my pen, perhaps I can change the thickness to bump it up a little bit, and I can start to plot in what I think might be a good point for this graph. So I could go in and I could say, okay, well, 1 point is going to be, oh, made a mistake. I can just Control Z and get rid of that one. And then I can go over here and say, well, 0.11 would be a good one. I could go 2.4 would be a good point. So I can get a little of something like this. If you ever need to erase, what you can do again is go back into this pen tab, and this is where you can find that eraser. And that eraser just simply works as a nice little drag, so you can actually just sketch large amounts of things, and it'll just take it all away the moment you put your eraser in contact with anything that you've drawn. I want to show you one of the more powerful tools of this, and this is going to be where you guys can upload some of your assignments and you can work on them in a nice collaborative space where everybody can see something a little bit easier than just sharing your screen, and that way everybody can cooperate at the same time in many different ways. So if I go over here to upload, I can grab something from anywhere that it happens to be. So I'm going to choose something from my device, and I'm going to grab some of the tasks that you'll be assigned throughout this semester. So let's go ahead and grab these two different tasks, and I'll open them up. They are PDFs, and you'll see that they're going to be uploaded as a PDF document that you can interact with. So if I click on the one on the left, you can see it's got its title. You can change its title. You can flip through these pages that are inside of your whiteboard space. So you can click on Extract Pages and choose All, and it will now lay out every single page that is part of that PDF so that you can write directly on top of these worksheets without ever having to print them off. Go down here to where we can see this frame. This frame is going to be just this icon. And you can choose if you'd like it to be in certain dimensions, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and grab it as just a custom. And I'm just going to drag over everything that I have here. And you're going to see that doesn't change anything. It just simply introduces this frame idea. And what you can do then is you can double click on the title of the frame and you could change that into something like maybe task 1. Now, whenever you have this frame, you can grab the entire frame and you can relocate everything that's inside of it, and it keeps things nice and organized. The other advantage is that you can do this to many different locations. So let's now introduce a frame here for our initial exploration. And then over here, maybe I would call this task 4. Now, anything that you want to grab and associate with task 4, whether it's an image, whether it's somebody's comment, whether it's a video, you can integrate YouTube videos into here. You can grab web pages and links, and anything that you want to associate with your mind map for task 4, you can now throw in here. So let's do a YouTube video real quick. So to add a YouTube or a web page, what I can do is I can click into YouTube. So I'll just visit YouTube real quick. I can find a video that I like. I can then grab the URL that's here, go back to my whiteboard, and up at the top of this Add More Apps, we can say paste an iframe code. Let's go ahead and throw in that video. And now I have that video in my whiteboard, so I can have that for reference later. If you ever need to move around, you can either click on a blank part of this whiteboard, and that'll allow you to kind of drag and relocate, or you can click the space bar, and the space bar will turn your cursor into this hand icon, and it will allow you to just move everything around by grabbing and pulling One other cool thing is you can connect these. So you can actually click on these little blue dots here and create this little drag arrow that you can then lock onto other items within your whiteboard. So you can lock it into the middle, and now these two are connected to kind of show that one leads into the other. Now you're going to be working either as collaborators with this, where there's going to be many different people. So I'm going to show you how you can interact with each other on this as well. Now what you'll notice is at the top there are two different icons. They both have me because I've logged in twice, but you can see that there's going to be two different people here that are cooperating. And so if you want to see where it is that another partner is currently working, you can just click on their icon and it's going to drag us over to where they are currently working, so you can see what it is that they're referring to nice and easily. And you can always click off and then go back and do your independent work. You can also choose whether or not you'd like to see their cursor, and you can choose whether or not this label is displaying where people are currently working, and that's going to allow you to see where everybody is at any given time in your group. Okay, so one last thing that I want to show you is the advantage of using frames whenever you're trying to export, whenever you're trying to copy, or whenever you're trying to present. So if we scroll out here for just a second and look down here at the bottom left hand, there's an expand bar. And what you can do when you expand this out is you can click on this presentation mode, and this presentation mode is going to treat every single frame that you've created as if it's a PowerPoint slide. So now you can see that with this first task is slide 1 of 3, and if you click through, it's going to take us to the second frame that you created. And so you can walk people through, if you share your screen, a nice presentation. And if you want to get out of presentation mode, we're just going to click off this presentation mode. And then perhaps you wanted to walk somebody through slides 3 before slide 2. You wanted to rearrange these. You can click into this frame button that's in the bottom left, and you can see how it's organizing what you have as if it was a PowerPoint presentation. So perhaps you just want to drag this slide and have this be the first thing we talk about is task 4. You can bring that on up, and now when you go back into your presentation mode, it's going to start from task 4 instead of task 3. This software also has the ability to export all of your frames as a PDF slide. So if you go up here to the top, you can choose to export this, and you can choose to maybe save it as a PDF. You can save it as an image. That's just going to be exactly what you see on the screen. So maybe we'll do that one first. Click Save Image, and you can see that whatever you have in front of you, you can choose to grab and to save offline for your own reference. You can also choose to export the entire whiteboard as a PDF, and it's just going to dedicate one slide of the PDF to every single frame that you have out on the board. So we can say, save this as a PDF, export, and it's now created a PDF document that has everything that you were referencing as a different page. So you can see that's dedicated one frame for each page. If you want to create a personal whiteboard, grab whatever it is that I want. So I can, again, this is going to be a frame. So let's go ahead and press select, grab this frame. I can copy it just with Control C. I can go back here into this Miro board. I can create a blank whiteboard that's just going to be for me. I don't need a template, so I can get rid of that. I can just click out of this menu that pops up. I could change the title so that I can keep track of it easily, but you can paste in here everything that you just had from that previous frame. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this. Don't feel overwhelmed if you think that this is too much or you're not used to using an online whiteboard. This is a really cool tool. This is supposed to be something that helps you out. If all you got from this is that you have the ability to draw on a whiteboard with a pen, then that's going to be more than enough power for you to use this software in a way that helps you learn.